been in traffic for over an hour, and Holy Spirit has been speaking. And so I just want to share this word that I got with you. I was sitting here and I was just reflecting on every impossible situation that I've encountered. And I realized that every impossible situation has only been an opportunity for God to get the glory from the story. Every impossible situation is an opportunity for God to work a miracle. And so when you're faced with circumstances and things that are bigger than you, know that if it's too big for you, that it is just the right size for God. We stress ourselves out because we look at trials and hard situations and difficult obstacles as things that we're supposed to figure out. But the biggest battles that we've ever fought are ones that God has told us, be still and know, or this battle is not yours. And so when we understand that when things become too big or they seem impossible, that is the red flag for us to move out of the way and to allow God to be God and allow God into the situation to handle the situation for us, because he doesn't need us to handle what he can handle. He does not need us to take on his responsibilities. If it's too big for us, that means it's just the right size for him. That means that that's an opportunity for us to move out of the way so God can move, so that he can work his miracles, so that he can do what he does best, which is everything that we cannot do. We are supposed to do our part, and we are supposed to move out of God's way so God can do his part. And if you really, really think about it, our life's journey and this faith walk is literally about getting out of God's way so that God can flow through us, work through us, and move through us. We are just vessels. We're just vessels. We take on so much of the load and so many burdens that are not ours. They're actually God's, and they're heavy for us because we're not supposed to be carrying them. The word says that his burden is light. So if we're carrying something that's too heavy for us, then either it's not God's, it's not God, or it's not God's. God's not in it. His burden is light. So when things become so stressful and so big and so impossible, that's your key. That's your cue to move out of the way so that God can do what God needs to do. Okay? That's all I got for you. That was good to me. I don't know if that's going to bless you or not, but that blessed me. And I love when God gives me those nuggets and those revelations to remind me, like, bro, you worried about that, and that ain't even for you to worry about. That's my burden. Give that to me and leave it with me. And we have to stop giving things to God and then taking it back. We have to give it to God and leave it with God. Because we can't play God in our situation. God allows us to encounter things that are bigger than us to remind us that we are not God. Okay? So I pray that that blesses you today. That blessed my spirit. This word may be for you. Always test the spirit. Always go to God. And if it's not for you, it might be for somebody that you know. But just know that we have to get out of God's way and stop trying to be God. And we have to look at impossible situations as opportunities for God to work a miracle. Okay? All right. Peace. Have a happy Monday and a wonderful week.